Hello guys, this is SANTHOSH. I'm here to present a PPT on the topic planet, a dynamic or a static term. So basically I will be going through the history of the evolution of the world planet and what the future changes which are about to happen and so on. So let's get into it. So, as most of us would have already known that the Greeks were the first people to give the term planet. So, how did it all happen? So, basically, the Greeks used to see that something bright used to move across the sky. So, basically, they named such celestial bodies as planetes. So, basically, the planetes is a word from Greek which means wanderer. So basically, they call those celestial bodies as wanderer. On the other hand, as per this definition, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Sun, and Moon were termed as planets. It is important to note that I am just referring to the planets and the celestial bodies which were discovered at that time. Now, when we look at the flaws in this definition, there are two major flaws. So the first flaw is that it doesn't even consider our Earth as a planet. So basically, since the Greeks were observing while they were standing on Earth, it's obvious that they couldn't call it as a planet. And the second flaw was that it grouped different kinds of entities together. For example, Sun, which is a star, was called as a planet. Moon, which is our natural satellite, was also called as planet. So obviously we can find that there were flaws in the definition given by the Greek. Now coming on to the thing which happened in the centuries after the Greeks definition. So basically as the time passed, there were many scientific advancements including the invention of telescope. So basically it helped in improving the observation made by our astronomers. They found the flaws in the Greek definition and they revised the definition of planet as something that revolved around the sun. So, as per this definition, the planets which were at that time were Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It would be important to note that Uranus and Neptune were not discovered at that time. For factual information, Uranus was discovered in the year 1781 and Neptune was discovered in the year 1845. Now, comparing the two definitions, that is the definition given by the Greeks and the definition given by the 17th century astronomers. So, as you can see in the picture at the top, where the Earth is considered as the center of the solar system, and Moon as well as Sun is also considered as planet. This is the definition given by the Greeks. While we look onto the definition given by the 17th century astronomers, they consider sun as the center of our solar system, where moon, which was given its correct position of that of a natural satellite. So right now it seems that everything has been become proper. There were no flaws at all. But here's a twist, the dilemma. So basically, in 1801, the astronomers found a planet between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter, and they called it as Ceres. In the very next year, that is in the year 1802, they found another planet called Pallas in the same region. In the subsequent years, they found many such planets between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter, where a few notable ones are Juno and Vesta. Now, imagine the situation of the children or the astronomers at that time. They had to remember 80 plus planet names. So, obviously, they knew there was some kind of error or flaw in the definition they gave. So, and now the astronomers started comparing the planets discovered before 1801 and after 1801. So basically, they found two major differences. So the first difference was that, say for example, if we take Ceres, the size of Ceres is very small when we compare it to other planets. For example, The radius of Ceres was actually half of the radius of Moon. Imagine a planet size being half of the size of other planets' natural satellites. So obviously there was huge error here. And the next biggest reason why these planets or so-called planets were downgraded to from the status of planet was that they were not spherical in shape. Now, coming on to solution. Now, the astronomers named such celestial bodies as asteroids. So, basically, what are asteroids? Asteroids are the bodies which are found in between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. They have elliptical orbits. Basically, they are the rocky bodies of varying mass revolving around the sun. Now, this belt is actually called as asteroid belt. Asteroid belt is a torus-shaped region. Basically, torus is a shape which is obtained when a circular object is rotated in a circular axis, and this asteroid belt is found in between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter as discussed earlier. Now again, the problem did not end here, as most of us know that Pluto was a planet which was discovered in the 20th century, and but we must also be knowing that it's a dwarf planet right now. So basically, why is it a dwarf planet? Before going on to that, I would like to talk about International Astronomical Union. It is basically a union which governs the rules and criteria for everything which is related to space. So basically, they in the year 2005 they found the celestial body which they further named it as Eris. Where it was very much small when compared to size of Pluto, but its mass was pretty higher than that of Pluto. So here came the problem. So in the year 2006, they gave a new definition for a term planet, and in that definition, the third condition was a planet must clear its neighborhood. So basically, clearing neighborhood means that a planet should not be under in the planet's vicinity. There shouldn't be any celestial object or a object which is similar to size of the planet, where it's under the influence of its gravitational influence. But Pluto did not satisfy this criteria. So as a result, Pluto was also downgraded from the status of a planet. Now the solution. The basically we all know that Pluto is the celestial body which is present after Neptune. So it's obvious that Kuiper's belt is also in that region. So it's a region of icy bodies just outside the orbit of Neptune. When we compare Pluto, this Kuiper's belt to that of the asteroid belt, it's 20 times wider and 20 to 200 times heavier than the asteroid belt. While Kuiper's belt is home to a very well-known dwarf planets such as the Pluto itself, Haumea, and Makemake. And finally, I would just suggest that the term planet is actually a dynamic term rather than a static term. That is its definition is or will change each and every time when something obscured is found in the space. So I would suggest that one not to stick with a single definition of planet, as it will change each and every time. Finally, I would like to thank each and everyone for patiently listening to this presentation. Have a great day ahead.